I'm Lissa.
And I'm Lauren, and this is the Favorite Daughters Podcast.
Sorry, we're trash.
Okay, welcome back to another episode. It is cold and crappy and rainy today, and Lissa thinks this light is too bright.
Yeah. It's like right in my eyeballs.
What the hell is today? Wednesday? It's hump day. Hump day.
It's Cinco de Mayo.
It is? Oh.
The 5th of May.
Shut up. I don't know what day it is. Did you have a margarita or some shit?
No,
you just ate an apple. Even though you're allergic.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
That's
yesterday was Star Wars Day. May the 4th.
Did I show you the mochi? The Baby Yoda mochi? Did you see that?
Yeah,
oh my
I
God,
saw
it's
it.
so cute.
Mochi. Yeah, okay. So there's two little things that kind of go back to back.
Okay.
The first one is like when I'm at work, I'm a hairdresser. So when I'm cutting people's hair, I have my mask on. Sometimes my glasses fog up, so I'll momentarily, like, hold my breath so it doesn't fog up if I'm trying to, like, cut around their ear and not, like, cut them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I find I forget to breathe again.
Okay.
And I'll just stop breathing, like, I'll hold my breath, and then, like, I'm on the other side of the head cutting, and I'm like, why can't I breathe? All right, I'm holding my breath. And, like, then I start huffing. And there's a couple times...
They look at you weird.
There's a couple times, like, I'll take a deep
Ma'am,
breath.
are you okay?
I'll take a deep breath and they're like, you good? Oh, okay, fine. Just can't breathe with mask on, you know? And so that brings me to a TikTok I saw.
Okay.
About this lady who is selling her used masks.
Like used panties and used socks and...
Yeah.
But she's selling used masks.
Used masks.
Okay.
Because she's breathing in it all day.
Uh-huh.
So it's like $5 for a mask.
To like creepy dudes online?
Yeah. And then she was like, but there's all sorts of extras. Like, she charges more, like, I don't know how much dollar-wise more, but like, she can charge more for wearing the mask for 2 days in a row. Or she said she's had requests of people, you know, to wear the mask for a day and then, like, the next day wear it in your shoe. So it smells like feet. And then another one was, like, wear the mask for a day, but then, like, rub it on your armpits or other various body parts.
Is there,
and
like,
she's selling these masks for, like, $30 to $50.
Where is she selling them?
Craigslist? I don't know. But she's like, she took off a mask. She's like, yeah, I'm packing this one up. This one's $30. She literally, like, puts it in a little Ziploc bag, flattens it out, a regular envelope with a regular stamp.
That's ridiculous. Okay, so when the pandemic started and this OnlyFans thing became a thing, right? Like, there's plenty of... It's not just dirty shit on OnlyFans. There are people that just do weird shit on OnlyFans or, like, will pay to watch people clean the house or something like that. Whatever. It's weird, but, like, most of it's... most of it's dirty.
Yeah.
Anyway, but, like, I found out a few months ago that... I remember thinking you were there, that... You can, like, sell feet pics?
Yes!
On OnlyFans?
Yes!
Yeah. I will do that.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that you can't identify my feet from a photo, but you absolutely can from tattoos. But who cares? They're feet. I'll stick my foot in a jar of peanut butter if you're paying me for a picture. Gives a crap.
There was some girl on TikTok saying that someone paid her $500 to send them, like, a 5-minute video of her massaging her feet with peanut butter.
$500?
Yeah. I see TikToks of, like, random encounters of people on the street where, like, if they were just filming something else, someone walks up to them, knocks on their car window or something, and is like, can I smell your feet for $30? And they say no. Like, yeah, here's my fucking foot. Give me $30. I don't fucking care. Like, why are you saying no to free money?
I know. I would probably do this. I mean, maybe not if someone walked up to me on the street, but, I mean,
listen, if it was a well-lit area during the day, there's other people where they can see
middle of Central Park,
where they can see if you're being kidnapped. Like, I'm not saying alone at night.
Hey, I'd be selling my used panties online if you didn't already have to put a picture of yourself in underwear in your profile for people to buy them. I'm sure you can do it other ways too, but, like, that's what I've seen. Most people are like, yeah, you have to have, like, a profile with you in the underwear first, and then they'll buy your underwear from there. Like,
That's disgusting.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. I don't know if my boyfriend would feel the same. I wouldn't do without asking him.
I asked Dan if he would mind if I sold feet pics, and he was
Alfie's into my feet pics.
He's down for the feet pics.
Yeah, he didn't care about feet.
Yeah.
But, man, there's some weird ways to earn money these days.
There really is.
I don't understand why I'm not doing. To be honest.
I just don't know where to start.
Yeah. No, there's...
Like, how do you start up an OnlyFans account where you're selling feet pictures? It's like... How do you advertise that?
There's plenty of TikToks where they teach you what websites and stuff and how to sell these photos, because apparently they there's certain websites that will, if you're selling your underwear, that they charge you for each message that you get about your underwear or something like that. And that's how they make their money. But apparently you're supposed to put in your account, message me on Kik or something like that. And then you do it all outside of the website. It's really kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's anonymous. It's like you're...
I feel like Craigslist might be safer.
Craigslist is never safer. Say no to Craigslist. Did I ever tell you about the time that I was on Craigslist? When Craigslist was really popular, probably back in college, but I'm going to date myself. 2004, 5, 6-ish. I used to go in the free stuff page. It's just like using those tag sale pages on Facebook now.
Yeah.
So I would go on there and see if there was any cool free stuff. And I was looking through it and I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is candle making supplies. I've always wanted to make candles. I've always wanted to make candles, but, it's really expensive because you got to buy the wicks and the jars and the wax and all this stuff. So I wrote to this person and I was like, I'm really interested in this stuff. Where are you? Is it still available? And they wrote back and they're like, yes, it's still available. When can you pick it up? And when you write through Craigslist, it assigns you an anonymous email address so you can't see who the person is. So all of a sudden this person starts agreeing for me to meet up with them to pick up these candle supplies, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, what the this is literally my best friend. It was Gina. The entire time I was coordinating picking up this random candle making supply kit from someone on the internet.
And it's your best friend.
It was my best friend in the whole world, and it blew me away. It blew me away. I was like, first of all, why didn't you tell me you had candle making supplies? Because, bitch, you knew I'd want them. Secondly, I'm coming to pick up the candle supplies. I can't believe it. It was crazy. It was so crazy.
Well, you know about Mom's story of Mom, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mom.
Love you. Her Craigslist guy. When
the
they
shed
took,
guy?
Yeah, when they took down the...
Oh my gosh. Tell the story about the creepy shed guy.
So, we had an aluminum, shed in the back, and my dad took it down. I guess, a tree or something fell on it, so he took it apart. And there was some guy on Craigslist who was, gonna take it away for $20 or something like that. Because I guess the garbage company wouldn't take it. I don't know, there's this whole deal. And so they made this plan for this guy to come at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to come pick it up. And he didn't show. And then we get a message from him at 4 o'clock saying he's running late. And then he doesn't show up till 6. And he's got this really beat up pickup truck. But
meanwhile, it's getting dark.
But the back of the pickup truck was just plywood. It was really creepy. And so Dad helped him move the aluminum sheets from the backyard to the driveway to put in his truck. He opens up the back of his truck and just screws nails at little bits of metal, just everything start falling all over the driveway. And I'm like, fuck, that's gonna go on our tires. Me and Mom are up in the second floor peeking out the window down the driveway because we were just creeped out at this point. And then the guy, he was telling Dad something about his wrist, he injured his wrist somehow, so, he can move his arm and he can move his fingers, but, he couldn't move his wrist, so he just had to, it just flopped around, and it was really creepy, and...
It's bizarre. I remember that.
Dad was just trying to, throw it in. He's like, I want to get this weirdo out of here. Meanwhile, he's, telling him how the reason why he was late was because something happened with his tire, some screw was loose, and he tries to get underneath his car in our driveway trying to fix his thing, and as he's driving away, the wheels wobbling, and he gets like halfway through down the driveway and his car shuts off. And he was like, oh, sorry, can I borrow some gas? Like, he ran out of gas, so, like...
In the driveway.
Yeah, so luckily Dad had gas for, like, the lawnmower and, like, gave him whatever gas, and he was just like, here's your money, get the fuck out of my house. Like, I do not... Like, I forget this address, you're so creepy.
Don't go on Craigslist, kids. It's a weird place.
Ugh, it was creepy. And to this day... Because it was Mom's idea. So to this day, I tell Mom she's not allowed on Craigslist without adult supervision.
Adult supervision.
She's clearly not adult enough. So, this popped into my head, I was going to the bathroom before I came over.
Of course.
Like all good ideas and thoughts happen. I haven't seen or heard a commercial for Mark E. Salomone and Morelli in the longest time.
Maybe they died.
No, because I looked it up and they're still around.
Really?
Marquis Salomone and Morelli.
Wait, hang on. Yes, you haven't seen a commercial for Marquis Salomone and Morelli in a while. Let me ask you several important questions to deduce what's going on. 1, do you have cable at home?
At Mom's house, we watch TV.
Do you have cable at home?
I do not have cable.
Okay. When you watch TV at Mom's house, where there is cable, is it early morning television?
No, but it is nighttime news.
I still feel like it was one of those things where, it came on during, like, on the Fox 5 News or something, like those local channels while you're watching, like, Maury or Jerry Springer on a sick day.
I feel like I've always seen them, and then it just popped into my head, Marquis Salomone and Morelli, and I'm like, wait a second, I haven't heard about the law offices of Marquis Salomone and Morelli in a long ass time.
You haven't heard J.G. Wentworth in a long time either.
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes.
Is there a new one?
No, it was an old one.
It was an old jingle? Okay.
It was the one where they're, like, screaming in the bus and screaming out the windows. Yeah.
I remember that one. We're gonna have to do an episode completely on, like, local TV jingles.
I'm gonna write that one down. So I saw this article that popped up on Facebook. That the title of the article was Mysterious Feat Solved. And I read it about 6 more times.
Mysterious
Still didn't hit.
feat?
Mysterious Feat Solved. And I was like, I gotta click on this.
Hang on. Let me guess what it might be involved with. Okay? Is it talking about those mysterious footprints that they think were human footprints and they're not sure if they were ancient human footprints?
No.
Okay, is someone chopping off feet?
Those are the only 2 options I got. Apparently,
only 2 options I got.
I couldn't find an exact number, but anywhere between 13 and 20 feet have washed up on shore between, like, Canada and I think, like, Washington.
Feet?
Feet. Just the feet. Feet inside running shoes.
Oh.
Like,
wait. This got even better. It's solved?
No.
Oh, God damn it.
So,
I just got really excited to find out what was happening with the feet.
So, for the past 13, 14 years, these random feet inside shoes have been washing up anywhere from, like, ankle down to, like, knee down. Like, any variety
lower
of...
leg.
Yes. And they never knew, like, they're like, oh, it's just feet. Like, there was never, like, this giant investigation.
They finding both feet or a single foot?
Just sometimes 2, sometimes just 1. Like, maybe one washed up and then the other came a week later. But just random fucking feet in shoes.
That's bizarre.
Right? And so, no other body parts, just the feet.
So what'd they say?
And they said, this is what pisses me off, okay? It said that it is now solved, and they have concluded that these people either died of suicide by jumping into the water, or some kind of accident in the water. And that the feet were severed due to natural decomposition. Now, I can understand the suicide. You just jump in with all your clothes. You don't give a fuck at that point. You know? What kind of fucking accident happens in water where you're wearing fucking sneakers?
None.
Exactly. So why are they saying... They're not even...
They pretty much could have said, it could have been a bear. It could have been aliens, or it could have been a plane crash.
And I would have believed it more than an accident.
But you know what? It's solved.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, feet, but why not any other body part? Like, they didn't look into why it's just feet. Like, why?
Why is it just feet?
Why just feet?
You know, I'm wondering. So let's say someone, from what I know about death and decomposition, when someone is in the water and they've passed away and they decompose, the fleshy parts are going to be the first parts to go. Like the stomach may crack and burst, release fluids. The fish and stuff are going to eat the eyes and stuff. Being in the waves and maybe hitting the rocks if they jumped off a cliff would tear off the clothes. It wouldn't necessarily take off the shoes, especially if they're running shoes. They're going to be tied very tightly. So it's very unlikely that any sort of natural, movement is going to take the foot out of the shoe. But if the natural decomposition, no. No, though, because if it's tied tight enough, it's not going to allow the skin to slough off. It's just going to decompose, into the shoe. It may even preserve the foot. Because the water's cold.
But they said the leg and ankle and everything is breaking off to decomposition. But it's like...
Yeah, the body decomposes, it hits the rocks. I mean, you don't know how rocky it is out there. You ain't been out there. I've been out there, all over out there. It hits the rocks, and it'll snap apart the joints.
Why just feet?
Because they're the only thing not getting eaten. Because it's enclosed in the shoe. That doesn't solve the mystery of why these people died or how they died, but I think that could explain.
And then, they've identified a couple of them. Yeah, we found your cousin's foot. He's suicide. I don't know. I couldn't find any, in-depth investigation.
I'm gonna do some research on that because I'm curious. I just wrote down feets, plural.
Feet and shoes. Did you catch that? Feets and shoes.
Feets, plural. Feets and shoe. Yeah, I think it definitely makes sense why it's just the feet. I get that. I can understand that. But why?
The lay in 14 years, the best thing you can come up with is accidental.
I mean, it could also be purposeful. Someone could be pushing hikers off a cliff.
What if there's some weirdo out there killing people, chopping off their hands and feet and chucking them in the ocean?
You would know. You would know if it was chopped off, though, because you'd be able to tell by the marks on the bones and stuff if it wasn't natural causes that caused the foot to pop off. The blank stare she's giving me right now. You'd be able to tell if there was some sort of instrument used to sever limbs. But that doesn't mean they're not being murdered. What if there's some creep living in a van in the Washington coast in the forest somewhere
killing
kidnapping hikers and is tossing them off cliffs? Yeah. Maybe he's strangling them. We don't have the rest of the body.
Because they don't have the rest of the body, so how can they say if it's accident or suicide? It could be their fucking murder out there, and they're just, nope, it's solved. We're not going to investigate it anymore.
The woods out there are crazy dense.
And the more feet that are coming up, they're not even trying to solve them anymore. They're just like, oh yeah, this was an accident.
Oh, that was a closed case?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm looking this up.
Like you were saying about the dense forests. I saw a TikTok yesterday about this girl who was saying national parks and areas around the world with dense forest populations are very creepy because people go missing in national parks around the United States all the time. And there are people who claim, I don't know how true this is through the United States, but that there are cannibalistic tribes that live in these parks, and it's not explored. Tribes? It's not explored.
I mean, it's feral people, maybe.
Yeah, that are eating other people, and they're kidnapping these people and eating them. You don't want to eat your second cousin. You're gonna eat the random hiker that's hiking by.
Guess they probably have more fat on them.
Right? And so this lady was saying how she was flying over some country, I can't remember what she said, and they were coming down to land, and it was by this dense protected forest area, and there was smoke coming up, and she had asked the flight attendant or the pilot or something like that, what is that? And everyone was curious, and they're like, we don't know, it could just be some undiscovered tribe that
they're out there.
Hasn't seen, civilized futuristic, I guess, and they're just out there and they don't know anything exists. And I'm thinking, these tribes that are living out there and haven't seen modern civilization.
Cannibal Holocaust.
And
Have you heard about Cannibal Holocaust?
And see a fucking plane go by. What are they thinking? Aliens?
Aliens. Or gods.
So that makes me think, years ago, when the Egyptians saw aliens.
Okay, we're not going to get into this again. Because listen, my theory, and it will always be my theory, steadfastly, is that aliens are people from the future time traveling. Period. Period. End. It's the truth. Time is not linear. We'll get into it. We'll have a whole episode. But that,
write that down. Write that down. No, times travels.
I still got thoughts coming out of my face. Like, if you look at the hieroglyphs, the aliens are astronauts. They're astronauts, and not this ancient aliens astronauts. Like, no, they're astronauts. They're fucking astronauts. They're in spacesuits with fishbowls on their goddamn heads. They're American, U.S. astronauts. I'm writing it down.
Space Force.
Space Force. We're gonna forget what that means.
We'll remember. We'll completely forget.
I'm gonna switch topics a little bit here for you. So here's just a story. So here's a little background. I have had very short hair most of my life. So I want to say 8th grade, I remember having long hair. My school photos, I had a ponytail. The hair used to get caught between the desks, you know, the metal part. It used to suck, right? So like around that time, 8th grade, 9th grade, I chopped off my hair. I had like the emo turkey cut where like it was short in the back and it got all spiked up and had long hair in the front.
Kind of like the OG Karen haircut.
Kind of,
before
but like
it
back
became
before
stacked.
Karens were a thing. And
Yeah,
it was not stacked.
It was spiked, not stacked.
And it was dyed.
Yeah.
So that's where it started, and it got a little longer, it got a little shorter, but I never really had like hair past my ears except for like the couple inches in the front because I need like this section of bangs to feel like I have hair. So for years and years and years and years now, I've been cutting and dyeing my hair like a emotionally traumatized adult. And Lissa here, who is my hairdresser, has been doing it all these years except for the couple times that
You've gone to a friend.
I've gone to a friend. Anyway, so I want to say maybe 6 months ago. How long would I start growing my hair out?
Well, we buzzed to the side for summer last year, so then I really haven't, other than like slight trims.
Maybe 8 months ago, I shaved the side of my head, like I usually do, and at that point I was like, you know what? I haven't seen my natural hair in like 20 years, so I'm gonna stop dyeing it and grow it out a little bit. I'm really interested to see if I have any gray hair and see like what's going on. We're snapping at my dog, don't worry. Would you sit down, bud? Sit your little butt down. Sit it down. Good boy. So I've been growing my hair out for like 8 months. The shaved side's coming in pretty good, and the long side still has like some bleach blonde in it, but it's like hitting my shoulder, like just below my shoulder now. It's literally the longest it's been in almost 20 years of my life.
It looks a little weird. Like
it looks...
I'm not used to it.
Don't get me wrong. I really like it, but at the same time, sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Well, we need to fix the color.
We do need to fix the color. We bought the red. Maybe we do that after the podcast. Anyway, so I need to put some color in the bleached ends of it as it's growing out because I want to see my natural color again. But the point is that I have very long hair on most of my head for the first time in my life.
Is it getting stuck in your butt crack in the shower?
That's kind of the direction I'm going in. So I've noticed... I don't know if you guys have dogs and long hair, but you know the problem with dogs and long hair is sometimes your dog will be out in the yard and it's dropping a deuce, right? And you're like, oh, good boy, you're done. Yeah, come on inside. And like you see there's still a shit hanging out of their asshole by a single strand of hair, and then you have to pull it out. So it sounds weird for you non-dog owners out there, but it happens all the time. Anyway, so...
It's hilarious.
The point of my story is... I went to the bathroom the other day. No, it's not poop related. I went to the bathroom the other day. You know, I'm sitting. I pee. I wipe. And I, like, stand up, and I was like, what the hell? The paper was dangling by hair. I was like, Jesus Christ. Is this the low point? Is this what I'm resorting to? And I wanted so bad to pick up the phone and FaceTime her before I even got off the toilet. And I was like, nope, saving it for the podcast. So listen, people, if you have short hair, you're thinking about growing it out long.
Be aware.
Be aware there are consequences. It gets places. It's annoying. It's on everything. Your dog shits it out. That's where I was going with that.
Well, I have a semi-related story. Not quite, but, hair and bathroom related. I was at work yesterday, and I had my hair like this. It's
like a messy braid.
Low, messy braid, so, like, the scrunchie was towards the bottom. And I take my apron off and hang it on the door when I go to the bathroom at work, so, like, my money doesn't fall out or anything like that when I flop it up. So it must, every once in a while, it'll, like, when I take it off, it'll get stuck, and it must have, like, pulled my scrunchie just to the bottom of the ponytail, and I didn't realize it.
Oh, no.
So I do my business. I do my business. I stand up. I turn around to flush, and as I'm leaning over to, like, reach the flush handle, the flush handle, and the water starts spiraling and going down, my scrunchie, bloop, and I just scrunching up. Like, there wasn't any time for me to save it, even if I did see it and I hadn't flushed. I wasn't gonna save it.
In there?
No, I would have flushed it anyway.
The only thing I'm sticking my hand in the toilet to retrieve is my phone.
Yeah. Or something that's won't flush. Like, I've dropped a deodorant in there.
Yeah, but, like, even in those situations, at least if it's your home bathroom, you can, like, use a toilet brush or something to get it out of there. But, like, when you're in a public restroom, you really don't have a choice. Don't bring your toilet. Bring your phone in the toilet with you.
So I flushed my scrunchie down the drain, and I walk out of the bathroom, and I'm laughing hysterically, and my coworker was like, what's wrong? And I told her what happened, and she starts cracking up, and then, like, an hour later, as I'm getting ready to leave, she just starts laughing again. I was like, what? And she goes, I can't believe you flushed your scrunchie.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
So the other thing that I have written down that I wanted to share, which I found quite curious and quite hilarious at the same time. So I was watching some TV show, and someone got introduced, and it was a strange name. I don't remember what it was. And the guy was like, oh, well, what does that mean? And then it got me thinking, what does my name mean? Because my name's a strange name, Lissa, Lissa. Like, a lot of people just think it's Lisa. Like, I was like, okay, let me look it up. So I was like, what does Lissa mean? Are you ready for this?
Are you ready for this?
Okay. My name means God is my oath.
That's good.
Right?
That's good. That's a good one.
Okay, so then from there I went to thinking, well, how many other people in the world have my name? I looked up, obviously, first name and last name. There's only one person in the United States.
There's two with mine.
I looked yours up too and only said one. It said one or less people, so maybe they died.
My maiden name. There's a girl out in California that, like, plays brass instruments or some shit. I've looked it up. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. There are 5,007 Lissas in the world.
Where are they mostly concentrated?
It didn't tell me that. It just said world population and then United States.
Okay.
And the United States was like 200 something. So I thought, okay, let me look up everyone's names, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Lawrence.
Fuck you, Brad.
Yeah. So, Lawrence, there are 235,342 Laurens in the world.
That's less than I'd expect.
So then I said, how many Stephanies? With a PH, like our sister. The sister who's not the favorite.
Yeah, the middle one.
Side note on that. Write that down.
The middle one?
Mm-hmm. So there are 667,636 Stephanies with a PH and an IE
Okay.
in the world.
Okay.
So then I looked up Carolyn. 642,599 Carolyns.
Okay.
Not Caroline, Carolyn.
Carolyn. Why?
Alfred. ALF. 270,392 Alfreds.
Okay.
And then I looked up Daniels.
6 million.
1,634,039 Daniels.
It's because it's a biblical name.
Then I looked up Alfred with the extra E.
4.
1,669. His name, even though people can pronounce it,
Is less
is
common.
less common than mine.
That's surprising. That's very surprising.
But do they fuck his name up? No!
That's why, okay, I'm in the middle of trying to make a website for us, and in the description it literally says Lauren and Lissa, Melissa without the M-E,
Yeah.
because no one can pronounce her name. It's
I get-
Melissa without the me. That's it.
It is.
That's
It's me, Lissa.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So people at my job, I get Lisa, Liza, Lizza, and they're, how do you spell that? With a Y? No, not with a fucking Y, with an I, like Lissa. How you fucking spell it? It's so easy for people to spell Melissa and pronounce Melissa, but they see it without the M-E, and it's a foreign fucking language to them. They look at it and they think it's Lisa, like, oh, Lisa with 2 S's? No! So I've just given up most of the time, and people call me Lisa Liza, and I'm like, sure, that's me. And everyone else, my parents get pissed at me because they're like, you need to correct them. I'm like, you shouldn't have given me a stupid fucking name.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. And people ask me all the time, like, oh, is that a family name? Is it a nickname for something? And I'm like, no. My mom grew up with another Lissa. I don't know where the fuck she got it, but they gave me that name. So I'm stuck with it. One more thing about my name. All growing up, my sisters, with their generic-ass names, got monogrammed mugs, stickers, bags, everything with their name on it. I thought I did until I was an adult, and my mother and grandmother confessed to me that they would buy Melissa and either put a sticker over it or scratch it out.
We've been peeling out the M-E for almost 30 years now.
And then Lauren went somewhere and came home and said, oh, I found these stickers for you. They have your name on them. And I'm like so excited. I'm looking in the package and I'm like, that's great. And then I noticed she bought Melissa stickers and just cut off all the MEs. Do I still use them? Yes. See, this is why our note-taking isn't going to work.
I told you it's not going to work. I have one more thing to mention before we kind of finish up, because Alfie will be home soon and we can carry on to the next episode. So my boyfriend lives about 45 minutes away, or his mother does. His home is there. He kind of lives with me. And I sometimes will spend the night up at their house. They live on a lake, and we go fishing, kayaking and stuff, and it's cool. So I was in bed at his house the other day. He walks into the bedroom and says something, and I decided I needed something from my bag. I think it was my hairbrush. I was like, can you get my brush? And he goes, where is it? I said, in my bag. And he goes, well, where in your bag? And I said the following words, which confused him beyond all hell. And then I realized it's not something everyone says.
Did you say in the ditty bag?
I said it was in the ditty bag. And I paused and I was like, okay, you may not know what that is. So I told him to get my hairbrush out of my ditty bag. I don't know if it's D-I-D-D-Y or D-I-T-T-Y, but it is the, like, cosmetics bathroom type bag that you pack when you go on vacation. Like when you do your shampoos and
your
stuff.
toothpaste.
Exactly. It's all your bathroom stuff that you usually just have in this little zip bag. And my grandma always used to call it a ditty bag. And then it got me thinking, like, what other words did our family have that, other people don't use? And the only thing I can think of, or there's two of them, one of them's not as controversial, is the family word for, vagina was called a doopy. What the fuck is a doopy? But that is what it was referred to in our family. A doopy. Like D-O-U-P-Y. I don't know.
I've heard other people call it a pagina.
A pagina. A kuka.
Like,
hoo-ha.
A doopy?
A doopy. Don't know where that one came from.
I feel like that was Stephanie.
That existed before Stephanie.
So another little weird family phrase that I believe comes from my mother's side of the family is, whenever something like our hair or makeup or outfit wasn't perfect, my mom always said, oh, it's a man in an airplane wouldn't notice. And it was just because he was so far away, he wouldn't notice, so we shouldn't have to worry about it. And like, it doesn't really make sense because I don't want the man in the airplane to see it. The person I'm standing 5 feet away from is going to see my shitty-ass eyeliner that doesn't fucking match or my hair that's frizzy, you know?
Yeah, I think that might be a little more universal one.
No, it is not. Because at work, there is a small local airport behind my salon. One of the guys who's a pilot comes in and get his hair cut. And one of the other stylists was doing his hair, and he was complaining about one little part of his hair that was cut a little too short last time, and it needed to grow out, and blah, blah, blah. The stylist was saying, oh, it's such a small, like, no one will notice. And I said, oh, a man in the airplane wouldn't notice. And I started chuckling, and I'm like, but you would, because you're a pilot. And, like, they looked at me, and they're like, what? And I was like, the phrase, like, a man in an airplane wouldn't notice, because it's, like, a small little thing that you shouldn't worry about, you know? And they looked at me like I had 6 heads, like they didn't understand. So I had to explain the whole phrase to them and how my mom always says it. And they kind of gave me like a, they didn't know. And I thought it was hilarious because he was actually a man on an airplane.
I would be really interested to know if anyone listening has any like weird family phrases that they thought were normal growing up. And then as an adult said it like in a normal social situation and found out that it was wildly inappropriate or just bizarrely wrong and you had to find yourself explaining it. So if you have any, email them to us at favoritedaughtersPodcast@gmail.com and we will read them on the air because I am fascinated by these things. Because a doopy and a ditty bag? Yeah. Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah. And so I do remember now what I thought of talking about our middle sister. So we always have this competition about who's the favorite, and clearly it's me. But
it's me.
It's not. We agree that it's not Stephanie.
That's all we can agree on.
Stephanie's husband posted a picture of her and her female dog on the couch the other day.
I saw this.
And her husband was like, my favorite 2 girls. And our grandmother comments on it, they're my favorite 2.
Bullshit.
So now we have beef.
Bullshit, Grandma.
Now we have beef with Grandma. What the fuck?
Well, clearly we're not Grandma's favorite.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're competing for.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys have had fun on another episode of the Favorite Daughters Podcast. Tune in next time where maybe we talk about aliens again and I get really upset, kinda. Okay, bye.
Follow us on Instagram at FavoriteDaughtersPod.
And if you have any questions, comments, or stories, please reach out to us at favoritedaughtersPodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your funny stories, ghost stories, satisfying Karen stories, and anything else interesting you may like us to read on the podcast.